The purpose of this live feed today is to talk about altcoin price manipulation. And the header at the beginning is talking about altcoin price manipulation and how to participate in pump and dumps without actually being a pumper. And so I'm going to talk about some details in there. And in the link below this video, you'll find a link to the website lumbercity.com, where I have a more extensive blog post on price manipulating in altclans. And here I'm going to go over and talk about stuff that I did in research back in 2014 and 2015. And surprisingly, when I pull up that spreadsheet right now, it is actually pretty amazingly interesting even now. And you can go to this post and scroll your way down, and you can see that it used to be a member protected piece of information, but I've made this available now so that you can access it. And down at the bottom, there are a couple spreadsheets to look at here: the repeated altcoin manipulation list and the best altcoin picks. So I'll start out with these, and the first, they're both the same spreadsheet, just sorted differently. So there's no different information in each spreadsheet, it's just sorted differently. So what I did way back when is I took the time to follow one of the pumpers online, and I went through everything that they blogged about having pumped and how much it went up and down. So each coin that they talked about having pumped, I made it in the spreadsheet. I wrote down the date, and I took a screenshot, or not a screenshot, I guess, just a link off to that data so that I could go and take a look at it myself. And I went through all these different markets, everything that they did, and then I sorted this spreadsheet by how many times did this group publicly state that they are manipulating the price of a specific coin. So we can see here that these coins had been manipulated twice. And then when I scroll down further, we can see coins that had been manipulated 3 or more times. And I started to review those charts to see if, at the moment I was looking, if these charts might be lining up to be good ones that they might be pumping again sometime. And so without really following what they're doing, without doing what they're telling me to do, I'm watching and I'm laying out a spread of positions in all these markets that are most likely to be pumped. And then the second part of this simple strategy, which actually takes quite a bit of work, is to go into Poloniex and lay out or wherever you're trading, lay out your sell orders in advance up to extremely crazy, ridiculous levels. And the one that we had a question about earlier today in a video that I'll have to look over on Bittrex. And then somebody was asking about Neo BTC prices. And if I go back to a 1-year view, we can see that there has been extreme moves in this market. And while I don't think this is a pump and dump group manipulation, this is actual change in the market where people are buying in en masse. So this is not a pump and dump, but the very same things will happen in a pump and dump. A coin that has no intrinsic value, but it'll undergo the similar patterns before the big price moves. And this is where, after going through that spreadsheet of all of those different coins, if you move the chart back to just before the pump and dump actually occurs, there are telltale signs that you can see that are telling you that the market is just about to take off. So another one that I could pull out pretty recently here and go into a 1-month view, maybe a 1-week view, and that's a little bit close, but you can see the pump starting and coming out long before the prices exploded. You can see this mass amount of volume when somebody puts up a big buy like that in sequence, in an order, and you see this pattern happening in the charts. It is time to get ready. And so the strategy simply is to buy a little bit of it and preset your sell orders out in advance up to where the technical levels tell you there are support and resistance levels. And the cryptocurrencies are traded by bots mostly, and they are very, very specific on technical analysis. So you can see old historical levels hit time and time again. It's it's as though it's been written out in advance. And so this is the strategy for getting ready to um, take advantage of pump and dump groups without actually hanging out waiting for them to tell you what to buy, because by the time they tell you, it's too late. And so I did a lot of years of studying of how pump and dump groups work inside the game of RuneScape. And it may seem a little bit odd, but it's a market that works on supply and demand, and so you can buy up all the supply of some little known item in the game and the price will go up. And if you send out an email to your old list and you put it onto YouTube, everybody starts buying it and the price goes crazy, and you can sell out and make a killing inside this game. So one of my things years ago was to teach people how to avoid being ripped off by these merch clans. So many people were buying after the merch clan told them to, and that's exactly when the merch clan is selling out, because they've already accumulated, they already know that that price is going up, and so they have their sell orders layered out in advance, and when they tell you to buy, you're buying their coin and putting money into their pocket. And so I went through a great deal of trouble detailing this for kids who are playing the game RuneScape. And I gave this away as a free PDF so that people would learn how this works. So here in 2017, I was focused, back in the day, I was focused on helping people not get ripped off by these. Now I'm actually orchestrating a pump and dump intentionally inside this game as a way to show people how this works. So fair warning, if you do this and you are one of the people who are buying in late, you're going to lose money, absolutely guaranteed. Another thing is that I recognize that this is illegal in the stock markets, and while it is not yet putting people in jail as part of the Security and Exchange Commission's, I do believe, and where do I have it written here? In week 7 of the pump and dump course here, when I talk about pump and dumps, I believe that the bio group leaders are going to spend time on jail, and I'm not keen on that. And the worst, the leaders of these groups are knowingly fleecing their followers, and that is just so low budge. There's so many ways to make money in these markets without screwing people over. So understanding how this works is essential for being able to see the patterns in the chart that tell you when prices are going to go up. And so I teach this stuff so that you can go into any of the charts and you'll immediately recognize that the volume has changed and the prices are going to go up. And it may be because of price manipulation, and it may just be because there is a change in the market and people are buying it for investment purposes, and it may not be intentional price manipulation. However, I think that the cryptocurrencies are so thinly traded and the whales have so much power that I really do believe in my conspiracy theory about how these big traders are actually manipulating the market. And if you do a search online for Bitcoin prices are being systematically manipulated, there'll be another blog post here. Manipulated. That should find the post. Bitcoin prices are being systematically manipulated. And I talk about the mathematics of how this is described actually in the book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. But more than that, Bitcoin is the perfect bucket shop. You have all this information, you have all this automatic trading, and nobody is accountable for this, what this black box trading program is doing. Oh, I just programmed it and it did the trading here. All these big skewers that are taking all the profit from the small traders who are over trading with a stop loss that's too close to the market. They're using too much of their funds in the one trade. They're putting the stop loss too close. It's nailing them. They're losing a great percentage of their trading capital. And that inexperience in trading is actually what's burning them the most. So reading the book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, and I'll be putting out this pamphlet, this 5 phases of the Merch Clan ripoff, and I'll be talking about how this stuff works. But like I say, there's no need to participate in any of the pump and dumps at all. All you need to do is scan through the markets, and as you're watching for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout, and then a bigger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout with increasing volume, this is the sign that prices are going to go up for me. And of course, they may not go up forever. I don't know how high they're going up. And so you need to have risk control rules when you are trading these markets. So while I can give you a basic idea of how to research pump and dumps and get an idea of maybe what they might be pumping and dumping next, and how to get ready for it and how to lay out your sell orders in advance, it is up to you to read more about risk control rules so that you don't lose your money if you're buying into something in a downtrend and it keeps going down. And it may not be that it's going to pump. It may be a mistake. You may be wrong. And so the risk control rules are vital. Now, I haven't asked for questions yet. I haven't even checked to see if my sound is working yet. Let's see. There we go. So 18 people watching right now. That's not bad. Very small, actually, compared to the thousands of people who are subscribers. So I think it's just a clear fact that I have not been publishing live videos, that nobody's watching for them. But the email will go out to everybody and the links are all in there. So I hope that this information is helpful to you now and inspires some questions below the video. Here is the price of Bitcoin right now on OKCoin. If we look over on Bitfinex, we can see that prices really burst out of this formation this morning. And I was calling this as a shoulder, this as a head, and this as the right shoulder in the formation. And at this moment, I was expecting the exact opposite in Bitcoin prices. So that it's going higher is great. I love it, but I wasn't expecting that. So some people were asking about how high will Bitcoin go. And I gave the analogy that if 1,000 people were to buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, that would put $1 million worth of market capitalization into Bitcoin right there. If 1 million people just wanted to buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin each, that is $1 billion of market cap. And I think that we're going to see wave after wave after wave of 1 million people buying just $1,000 of Bitcoin each. And right now, that's less than 1/4 of a Bitcoin. It's quite conceivable that those 1 million people will each strive to purchase 1 Bitcoin. So who knows? I think that I think it's going up way too fast. It's too ballistic right now. This is crazy. When you look at the really long-term charts, it is crazy. And yet the chart of cell phone uptake probably looked like this at one time and then went 10 times higher. So if Bitcoin is going to be something that turns out to be $1 million per Bitcoin, what would the chart possibly look like as it's going up to that? It's inconceivable. So I'm just holding on now, and that's it. I'd like to invite you guys, if you haven't already, come over to my website, digitalcurrencytraders.com, and sign up for the free training there. If you're just beginners and you're just starting out, this is the safest way, the most important information for beginners in Bitcoin and altcoin. Oh, here we go. Good point about risk controls. It is important. It's the first thing that you've got to learn. And if you haven't read Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, I recommend that you get the audio version and put it on your phone. Use it when you're driving or walking or biking. Listen to the story. It is great. It's a really great read. There is a bot to quick pumps. It's called, this is great. Even the bot can't handle it because the pumps are so quick. So yes, indeed, you cannot jump on a pump after it's started because you don't know if it's going to crash immediately. So you've got to be prepared in advance. You've got to lay out your net like a spider before the insect comes, right? You've got to be prepared before things happen. And that is the story of luck, is where opportunity meets preparedness. So if you prepare and you study what these alt plans have been doing, and then take a look at some of these coins, like I looked at this cloak coin, that's just been going through some amazing moves recently, and I haven't been looking at it. I've just been hearing about it through the social media. So let's go to the 1 month, 1 week, one day. So yeah, May, June, it was another one that made enormous moves and came all the way back. So that had to have details laid out in advance. And you can see here that in January, I did a pump and dump prediction report where I said charts are showing this pre-pump accumulation pattern. And it's nothing but pattern recognition. Once you know this pattern, you see it, it's obvious. You'll only miss a couple of them, and then you'll be putting your stuff out there. One person asked, is this a quick strategy? I need to make money fast. And I say, no, this is not a quick strategy. This is put it out there and then forget about it. And then one day you'll look and say, oh, wow, something's sold out. And you look to see what it was, and you've made 400 or 1,000% profit off something that moved unexpectedly out of the blue. And you were prepared for it. Preparation and opportunity. So here's some of my preparation where I narrowed down the list of what I thought was going to pump back in January. And yeah, we can go through and see all of these absolutely pumped to the moon and back. And many of them absolutely great to see all that stuff. Then I did a 7 of 9 screenshots and the accompanying video. And this is some of the history, I guess, that's in the membership area only. And there are years of history in there of backup to show what's going on at this time that you can go and study and then relate to what's going on today. So there's a shameless plug and sort of off topic. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, the pump and dumps are going crazy, and the ICOs that are going out there are also crazy too. And my strategy with ICOs is to wait until they've come out. And so one that I did purchase into, Lisk, when it first started trading, prices were above the ICO, and they sold all the way down to about the ICO price. And then they went lower than the ICO price, and then they've come up. And I've got a good swath of it now that I'm just going to hold on to, but I still have my original ICO tokens. So I'm thinking that for some of the ICOs that are coming out that are really compelling, I might put on 1/5 of my trade into the ICO as it's opening. Then if it proves me correct, I'll put on more. But for all of them, I'll wait for after the opening and some history to show itself, because most of the projects are not working projects. They're ideas that need to be built. And in the meantime, human psychology will be that, well, I'll just take my profits. Who knows, it's going to be another year before they're launching. Then the prices are going down, and people who are originally in there are losing money, and they don't want to lose money, so they're selling out to not lose money. And there's our opportunity when we see the bottom formation shaping up, and we see this pump and accumulation pattern growing after the project is proving itself out. Now we have an ICO pattern to really watch for. ICOs that are 6 months or a year old and doing these kind of patterns. That would be a great study. And I don't know how to pull that information together. And Bitcoin, yeah, I just have to say it's not done going up. And that makes me happy. Alrighty. So I like doing these live things. I'm going to keep them short and sweet and on a specific topic, so we're not rambling too far. And I'll look for you guys on the next one. Thanks again, and good luck in all of your cryptocurrency trading. It is exciting these days.